Basolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at Test 7, Section 4, number 29, which reads, a circle in xy plane has the equation x plus 3 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared equals 25. Which of the following points does not lie in the interior of the circle? Now, I'm going to show you how you can do it with your calculator. We'll also do it by hand. This is the with calc math section, so you're allowed to do this. If you've got a TI-84 plus CE or a TI-84 plus, you could do this, and the steps should be the same for both calculators. Once in a while, you get a TI-84 plus that does not do it, but almost every time it does. All you got to do is you got to go to the apps button, which is to the right of the math button. Hit apps, and then number 4 is conics, and then number 1 is circles. And then you're going to have two formats. You can see that this looks like the first format, so you hit enter. And then what you've got to do is you'll see up above it says x minus h quantity squared. Since it says x minus h quantity squared, your h is going to be -3, because you could see if it's x minus h, if x is -3, then it would be x minus -3, which would be x plus 3. So it's opposite. The y, it's y minus k, so it's y minus 1. Your k is actually a positive 1. And then you'll see it on the model up top on your calculator. It says equals r squared. And you can see that you've got a 25 isolated on the right in this equation. So we actually put 5 for the r, because if r squared equals 25, then r equals 5. And then all you got to do is you got to go to graph. And then once you graph it, you go to trace, which is right here. And then you just press to the right, and it will trace the whole exterior of the circle. And you'll be able to, you'll see that the coordinates for x and y populate at the bottom of the screen. And you'll be able to see what fits inside the circle and what does not fit inside the circle. Now, notice I didn't give you your answer there, but what I did do is I guided you to how to solve it. Now we're going to do it by hand, so keep you hanging. When you have this model, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared, then you could see that your center equals -3, comma, +1, because the c equals h comma k. So it's minus h minus k, but in the original equation, see, it's x minus h, x minus k, so it's opposite. And then your r, you can see that r squared is isolated there, corresponds with 25. You can see that your r is 5. You have to take the square root of what's on the right. But what else do you need to know? To solve this problem, you've got to know that x comma y, that's a point on the circle. What do I mean by a point on the circle? I mean that if that's your circle, it's a point like there or there or there. It's literally a point on the circle. So what happens is when we plug in, now let's say I plug in answer choice A, I get -7 plus 3 quantity squared plus 3 minus 1 quantity squared equals 25. And then when you do the math in here, you get -4 quantity squared. You do the math in there, you get 2 squared equals 25. -4 squared is 16, and 2 squared is a 4. And notice that is less than 25. So if you plug in the coordinates for answer choice A and B and C, they will all be less than that 25. You know that it's outside the circle when you plug in answer choice D, and what you wind up with is something that's greater than 25. So if I plug the 3 in there, I get 3 plus 3, which is 6 squared, plus 2 minus 1, which is 1 squared equals 25. And you get 36 plus 1, which is greater than 25. And that's why D is your answer. The others would be less than if you plug them in. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has trouble with circle questions, if there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments and I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.